Hi everyone, this is Steve Kogan and I'm a forensic scientist here at the Logan Valley Mall in Altoona, Pennsylvania, at the site of a major fire that started in the kitchen of Applebee's restaurant, which is attached to the east wing of the mall. In investigating this fire, I began with developing a few questions. Some prominent questions that a forensic analysis may provide insight include: where did this fire start? What may have initiated this fire? We found that fire crews were called to the scene around 6:45 p.m. on Saturday, August 8th, after what was described as a massive kitchen fire broke out. Firefighters are unsure how the fire started, but they speculated that some grease may have kicked out of a fryer and been ignited by a stove that was unattended. Firefighters stress how quickly a grease fire can start if the grease is exposed to fire. He also spoke about how difficult it can be to extinguish a grease fire like this because water is not effective, and that's what most people would go to if they're in a panic. Another possibility mentioned by the fire chief was that an electrical wire could have been exposed, in which a spark could have led to igniting this grease fire. They do believe the first scenario is the more likely of the two. So, what conditions were present allowing this fire to spread so quickly and destroy so much of the property? In order to answer these questions, we must look for evidence of the chemical reaction, specifically a combustion reaction, which is usually the cause of fires. Combustion reactions always involve the same reactants and products. The reactants are a carbon source and oxygen, producing water and carbon dioxide. In this case, the grease from the deep fryer and the natural gas from the stove would be the reactants, since they are both carbon sources. Grease and natural gas both react with oxygen. Areas in the restaurant with higher concentrations of carbon dioxide may be evidence of where the fire originated. In this case, that area was the kitchen of Applebee's. The fire chief believes that grease is the main cause of the fire spreading so quickly. The law of conservation of matter states that matter in a chemical reaction cannot be created nor destroyed. Therefore, this would support this theory. Chemical energy stored within the molecule bonds is transferred into heat energy during combustion, making it exothermic. This heat would spread throughout the restaurant building due to the second law of thermodynamics. The molecules that are in close proximity to the fire will acquire more kinetic energy, raising the temperature. Kinetic energy is transferred to areas of lower energy or temperature, spreading the fire. If it isn't extinguished quickly with a proper flame retardant like a fire extinguisher, then the fire could spread quickly and potentially destroy the whole restaurant and beyond, which is what happened in this case, as I believe a worker had tried to use water. There were conditions at this restaurant that were present to enable the fire to spread and destroy the property quickly. The presence of reactants that readily burn or combust may have caused the fire to start and spread efficiently. These reactants include dry carbon sources, for example wood like cutting boards, drywall, or countertops, or paper such as menus and food boxes or packaging, and liquid vapor carbon sources like propane from the stove and grease from the deep fryers. We would like to find the source of the reactants as well as oxygen sources. Oxygen tanks supply high concentrations of oxygen, which would perpetuate a combustion reaction. The public could learn some important safety lessons from this fire that happened at Applebee's today. Some recommended safety measures to be taken now would be people know now that it is wise to use building materials that retard fire initiation. This could be helpful for people in the process of building a home or opening up or renovating a bar, restaurant, or kitchen. It is a good idea to limit exposures of wood and propane natural gas reactants. Materials that are insulators and do not conduct heat efficiently are smart to be used. Always be sure to limit exposure of high concentrations of oxygen to open flames. Be aware of chemical reactions that are exothermic, such as combustion reactions. So, most importantly, never leave your stove unattended if something is cooking, and always have a fire extinguisher present in your kitchen as the most efficient way to put out a fire.